Welcome back, pro wrestling fans. Welcome back, IWC. It's your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, and I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this, coming to you live to tape from the lounge here at Chaos Corner, a little different venue than being down 25 feet below the surface of the earth in the bunker. We have an unbelievable atmosphere here today in the lounge. Let me lower the distraction, because you do know we are one man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog. So if anything cuts out or there's technical difficulties, I'm not the one to blame. Thanks for being here, fans. We have a shorter episode today on this date, today in pro wrestling history for November 3rd. I can't thank you guys enough for being here. Grab a snack, grab a beverage, and come on back to Guardian of Chaos on the YouTube channel. We're coming up on the precipice of those 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, almost 2,500 videos here on the channel. Follow me on all social media platforms. Not only here, as I just said, on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel. Follow me in real time on X, at Big Daddy G.O.C. And the G.O.C. stands for the Guardian of Chaos. Follow me on Instagram, The Guardian of Chaos. On Facebook, there's 2 accounts, J Brony, just like it sounds, and Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian. Gitter, Gab, Truth Social, and soon to take over live on Rumble. You're not going to want to miss it, fans. So as I said, enjoy all the reading memorabilia behind me as I jump off all the other social media platforms. Come on back to the YouTube channel. All right, guys. We are back here in the lounge with a little Dr. Disrespect, a little red skies, no copyright infringements. There's nothing here going on. And I can't thank you guys enough for being here. As I already said, let's see if we can cut right past on the big screen here on all these different commercials. It's almost like being in the bunker when there's Alexa. But as I said, when you do it like I do, raw dog, no super chats, no Patreon, no paywalls, no editing, live to tape, making it relatable for you guys, this is the only channel that does this. I'm the only one that does it, as I mumble, stumble, and rumble here early in the morning. But it is Friday. Boom, boom, boom. Thank God it's Friday. Friday night. Just got paid. A little too early? Maybe. Big shout out, obviously, in recognition to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Stay safe, stay aware in this insane world in 2023. I want everyone to be safe so you can come back here. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Get us in the algorithm. Inbox me. Send me a message, an email, whatever it is that you're going to do. And if you don't like it, as I always say, and I'll get my couple of cusses words out of the way now, then change the fucking channel, because I know that you're watching, and you know that I know that you're watching. As you can see, I have Danny Davis's book behind me, John Arezzi, my old buddy Justin Roberts, Tito Santana, Arriba, Bob Backlund, Brian Solomon on the original Chic, Dr. D. David Schultz, Fake. How about that? The Ring Man, Dave Dwinell, Owen Hart's book. A lot of good stuff behind me. That's only a percentage of my library here in the lounge at Chaos Corner. And I hope that Dr. Disrespect isn't too distracting, but it's kind of like how I'm feeling today. As you can see, I have the double lenses on today. All right. Let's jump right into it, because I have a shorter version here. And I'll be back tomorrow anyway. Crown Jewel is tomorrow over in Saudi Arabia, so we'll see what happens. And I just, again, let me repeat myself. I really appreciate you guys being here, especially during these trying times, for a much-needed distraction and stress reliever for all of us. Let's get right into it. This date in history, November 3rd, 1939, as we jump back into the time machine. Steve Casey defeats Ed Don George for the AWA World Heavyweight title in Buffalo, New York. Now, this ended George's 3rd reign, and it was the start of Steve Casey's 3rd reign. Back into the time machine. November 3rd, 1981. The Spoiler defeats Charlie Cook for the Florida State heavyweight title in Tampa, Florida, ending Cook's second reign and starting the third and final reign for the Spoiler. As I said, whether it's on YouTube or Dr. Disrespect or on Sirius XM or on Alexa, when it comes to technology, that's what you get here with the G.O.C. I mean, it's me. November 3rd, 1997, as I've been covering over the last several days, and you guys listen up for the current product of WWE and AEW and ratings from everybody from Brandon Thurston at WrestleNomics to Dave Meltzer to Brian Alvarez, everybody's brother, uncle, cousin, sister's ass, and everybody else. November 3rd, 1997. The Monday Night Wars continue with WCW Nitro on TNT garnering a 4.0. Let that marinate. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. To WWF's Raw on USA at only a 2.6, which blows away every competition and show today in 2023. Seeing that we're talking about ratings. I know I'm a little close here, huh? Different venue? Scare the rats off cheesecake? Make onions cry? Well, I'm just saying, man. It's a work. It's a joke, man. Kayfabe, man. I don't take offense to self-deprecating myself. It shows that you're humble and you have a sense of humor. Let me know what you think of the new venue. And if you ask me for one of the books, I might lend it to you, as long as I get it back. On the same night of the Monday Night Wars here on November 3rd, 1997, Perry Saturn made his Nitro debut and beat the Disco Inferno via submission to win the WCW TV title. Now, Saturn just recovered from a broken leg on that night. He made the jump from ECW, breaking up, no pun intended, the Eliminators tag team with John Cronus. Now, I'm going to run over the same two cards and how they went head-to-head that night during one of the most infamous times in the world of pro wrestling, in the Monday Night Wars and 83 weeks and everything else that came from it between WCW and the WWF in 1997. On Raw that night, and you could see the difference in talent and cards for that night, Esa Rios went over on Super Crazy. No offense, man. I say it all the time. It's a work. Kane defeated Ahmed Johnson. Mark Miro went over on Savio Vega. Vader defeated Davey Boy Smith in a dog collar match. The New Age Outlaws defeated Los Boricuas. Ken Shamrock defeated Shawn Michaels via disqualification for the European title. And again, defended here in the United States. So kind of like how AEW does the silliness with the International Championship, and you're defending it here in the United States, and it's against two American guys. I mean, I don't get the storytelling and the booking, but it went on back then too, although a much better era. And on that same night, in 1997, November 3rd, here was the Nitro card. Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko went over on Rey Mysterio Jr. and Steven Regal. Malenko tapped out Mysterio via the Texas Cloverleaf. Dave Finlay pinned Dave Taylor, a simple pile driver. That's what I want you to note here. All the simplicity of the one move, the one finish that meant something. And for a pin, instead of all these false finishes, you get your stuff in, then I'll get my stuff in. No storytelling, no emotional investment, no ring psychology in 2023. I'm just saying, everyone wants to talk about long-term booking. How about getting your head out of your ass from someone who's been in the business and took the bumps himself and been inside a ring and on the other side as a fan, of a smark, a historian, an agent, a scout, a mark. That's right, I said it, a mark. I don't want to get carried away. I am drinking dark roast today. I'm not, yes, and I still a little under the weather, but feeling good to be here with you guys. On that same card, as we go back to the Monday Night Wars, let me not get distracted. Yuji Nagata defeated Psychosis. Chris Jericho pinned Scott Hall with a simple cradle. Let that marinate. The Giant, a.k.a. Paul White, whatever you want to call him, who was just on AEW. Now, I loved him. And when he was the Giant, one of the best big men to ever step in the ring. He's older. He's hurt. Let's hope he doesn't get hurt coming up in this AEW 8-man tag team match that they have going on. The Giant interfered and cleared out the whole ring during a Lucha Libre Battle Royal that night on Nitro. Ric Flair defeated Alex Wright with a simple figure 4 where people don't reverse it or break out of it. I'm just giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let me continue to wrap myself up here. That's how I'm feeling, as you could tell by the mood and the background. And plus, my life was wrapped up in chains for many years. Ray Traylor, a.k.a. Big Bubba, the Big Boss Man, pinned Mongo McMichael with a simple side slam. Prayers go out to Mongo McMichael as well. The WCW World Tag Team Champions Rick and Scott Steiner defeat the Public Enemy in a Philadelphia street fight. Now, Scott Steiner pinned Rocco Rock. Na 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 na. Here comes the hot stepper. Word up, I'm the lyrical gangster. Word up. No? Too much, my karaoke skills? Remember, I'm a little under the weather. Bear with me here. I hope you guys are having fun because it's a little change for me to be here in the lounge with Chaos Corner. Lex Luger defeated Kurt Hennig via disqualification with interference from Ric Flair. Now remember, I just reviewed November 3rd, 1997, the Monday Night Wars between Raw and Nitro. Back into the time machine. November 3rd, 1998. Jesse the Body Ventura, running as an independent candidate on the Reform Party ticket, defeats Hubert Humphrey III and Republican Norm Coleman to become the governor of Minnesota. Now, that's 1998. You know what a shithole Minnesota is in 2023 with Omar or whatever the heck her name is, the snake there. I really don't want to talk too much about politics, but it's in today's news. Ventura would later change his name to The Mind, telling his supporters, "We shocked the world," making nationwide headlines. Hold on, Doc. Hold on with the Doc. And if you go back on my page with the almost 2,500 videos, you will see that when I was broadcasting here from the lounge, probably a couple of years back, seeing that we're new here, we've been on since 2017, but the show Chaos Corner didn't start till 2019, going into 2020 with the pandemic and all that is when we really notched it up. And then we took some time off and came back and rebranded. But as you can see, we keep it simple, stupid. And we used to do a lot of stuff from up here in the lounge. And this was our theme song for quite some time. So how about that for Jesse, the Mind, the Body Ventura? And what's going on in Minnesota? That's another story for another time. I try to keep religion and politics at a minimum here. Let's stay in November 3rd, 1998. During a Raw taping at Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas, Mankind makes his first defense of the World Wrestling Federation Hardcore title by pinning Ken Shamrock after Vince, the Big Boss Man, Gerald Briscoe, and Pat Patterson all interfered, and we know the future of what happened with the Hardcore title there. Also on that card, William Regal. Again, I feel like I'm dealing with Alexa here with all the interruptions. You don't really get commercials here because I just talk over them here on Chaos Corner. On that same card, William Regal defeated Golga of the Oddities, unmasking Golga, who turned out to be Earthquake John Tenta. Now remember that November 3rd, 1998, on that Raw taping from the Reunion Arena, that match never aired because the unmasking was accidental. How about that? Back into the time machine because we're going to bounce all over here. There wasn't a lot of notes. I had to really dig in and do my research. November 3rd, 2010. During an interview with AOL, America Online Fan House, Mr. Anderson, Ken Anderson, noted that TNA had banned chair shots to the head, stating, TNA has absolutely thrown down the gauntlet and said no more unprotected chair shots. You know what I'm talking about, right? Considering I took many a chair shot unprotected, whether it was by the Executioners, whether it was by Romeo Rosselli, whether it was by primetime Brian Lee. I can go on and on, whether it was by Ron Zombie, whether it was by Bull Dread, whether it was by Jason Knight. I can't remember how many different chair shots I've taken throughout my career that ended up in virtually 6 concussions. So this was in 2010. I had just about retired at that point as a pro wrestling manager who took the bumps. I know I keep repeating it. So the agents had stated in TNA at that time, again, it's back now. Tits and ass, no. Total Nonstop Action with Impact or rebranding. I don't know what they're doing. It is what it is. It's not a bad product. The agents stated, and this is what they had to do with the boys back then, they pleaded that make sure you're going to protect yourself or put your hand up, or it's going to be a back shot or something like that, which across, your shoulder blades and your back, that part of the meat on your body can take that metal chair shot. To show you, people want to say fake, I'll refer you to David Schultz's book. I'll refer you to John Stossel, Richard Belzer, so on and so forth. Get in the fucking ring and experience the physicality for yourself if you think you can do it. Then get out of the ring and tell me how you feel. The physicality is real. It's predetermined, yes. But you either do the moves, you're an athlete, or you're not. It's like being a stuntman, but even more, day after day of training and performing. Remember what I'm talking about? You're getting it from experience here. Into the Time Machine, November 3rd, 2011. Bobby Roode captures the TNA Championship during a broadcast of Impact Wrestling. Bear with me, fans, here, as we go to this date today in pro wrestling history, November 3rd. I always have to have my notes. Even if they're minimal notes, you still have to have them. November 3rd, 2013. Chaz Betts, a member of the 2012 United States Olympic team in Greco-Roman wrestling, signs with the WWE. Now, a lot of the Greco-Roman guys that have tried to come on and become professional wrestlers, it's not easy. Whether it be Gabe Stevenson, so on and so forth, Chaz Betts, other guys that have tried, only few have made a successful transition, like a la Kurt Angle. Let that marinate. November 3rd, 2014, Rusev, when it was Rusev Day, and now it's Miro the Redeemer, defeats Sheamus to win the WWF United States Heavyweight title during the post-Raw broadcast on the WWE Network. Back into the Time Machine. November 3rd, 2012, the WWE is on a world tour in Germany. Hamburg, Germany, Leipzig, Germany. And they run the same show, the same card, the same order, the same talent, with the same finishes. Talk about shit booking. I'm just giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly here on Chaos Corner. 2012 WWE World Tour, this date in history, November 3rd. So when I give you the card here in the lineup in the order, it's the same thing they did throughout the tour. Sin Cara defeats El Loco, Ricardo Rodriguez, the manager, under a mask. Johnny Curtis defeats Ted DiBiase Jr. Caitlyn defeats Natalya. The Usos, the Ultimate Us, the Bloodline, the Samoan Dynasty. Mahalo and aloha to all my Hawaiian, Polynesian-speaking friends. Not necessarily Samoan language, although I'm learning. They go over on the Prime Time Players. Randy Orton defeats Alberto Del Rio. Wade Barrett goes over on Lord William Steven Regal. The Intercontinental Champion for the WWE at that time, Kofi Kingston, defeats The Miz. And again, as I said, same results, same card for the shows over there on that World Tour in 2012. They just make it to an event, and they kind of give it to the foreign fans, just to be honest with you, where I'm coming from. Back into the Time Machine. November 3rd, 2001, and I know we're all over the place here today on Chaos Corner, but bear with me. November 3rd, 2001, WWF Rebellion in the United Kingdom only pay-per-view from Manchester, England. Again, as I've said, whether it was in Germany running the same show, the same card, the same talent, the same results, this right here in 2001 is another perfect example. Rebellion was a UK-only pay-per-view where Stone Cold Steve Austin, the WWF champion, goes over and defeats, if you smell what The Rock is cooking. How about that for a result? 22, almost 23 years ago. That's what you get here on Chaos Corner. Useless tidbits of historic information. Back into the time machine. I know we're going backwards here. November 3rd, 2003. And Yokohama, Japan. Konnichiwa, bitches. Arigato from Chaos-san to G.O.C.san. Hiroshi Tenzan defeats Yoshihiro Takayama to win the IWGP Heavyweight title. November 3rd, 2008. In a steel cage match on Monday Night Raw, the Wizard, the Ocho, Le Champion, Y2J, the Rainmaker, whatever the fuck it is that you want to call him, Chris Jericho defeats Batista in the steel cage to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Jericho is a first ballot Hall of Fame legend, still working today in AEW in his 50s. And if you remember, the first year or two, he carried that fucking company. No two ways about it. I apologize for the cussing. I know I say it every show. I should clean it up a little bit. I apologize. We're only a little over 20 minutes in here, so this is going to be a short episode for you guys to consume. This will be going up today on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. As I said, there's still parts of it on Twitter and definitely here on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel. Today's birth dates and birthdays. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to whoever this applies to. A happy birthday to you. Whoa. No? I'm trying my karaoke here. I used to be pretty good at it. I'm a cowboy. On a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive, dead or alive, dead or alive. That used to be one of my go-tos. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Da-da-da-da. You made me so very happy. I'm so glad you came into my life. The others were untrue. But when it came to loving you, I'd spend my whole life with you. But then you came and you took control. You touched my very soul. You always showed me that loving you is where it's at. You may... No? I said a M-A-S, a T-E-R, a G with a double E. I said I go by the unforgettable name of the man they call the Master G. Well, my name is known all over the world. All the foxy ladies and pretty girls are going down in history as the baddest brother there ever could be. No? No? All right. Birth dates today. November 3rd, 1989, Andrade El Idolo turns 34. November 3rd, 1980, Jackie Gaeta. Jackie, one tough son of a bitch. Wait, that doesn't... One daughter of a son of a bitch. Well, you get it. November 3rd, 1970, Dawn Marie Saltis, 53 years old, ECW's Dawn Marie today. 1968, November 3rd, Dirty White Girl Kimberly Anthony turns 55 today. 1998, November 3rd, current star Alec Price. His birthday is today. And on an unfortunate passings, and we've had a lot here recently in 2023, whether it be Matthew Perry from Friends and fame, I mentioned it a couple days ago, or the legendary Bobby Knight, who just passed away, and there's many others, and all the people suffering around the world. Today, November 3rd, 2006, the late, great legend, Sputnik Monroe. Say that 3 times fast. Fans, that's really all I have today. This is going to be under a half an hour here from the lounge. I hope you had a great time. I know that I did. We got a little carried away, a little corny. But this is what I do. This is what you get here on this channel. This is the entertainment portion of Chaos Corner. Come on back tomorrow on this date in pro wrestling history. Today in pro wrestling history on Chaos Corner with the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy. And as I say in the beginning, and I'll say now, I'll say that to say this, because I tell it like it is. Don't you dare miss it, man.